Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine.
I cleaned it, like I... No.
The truth, sire.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her lap?
No, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She does...
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See?
I... Do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her, not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the...
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice...
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
One thing, officer. If you do find her...
She really means it.
She's a good girl. What...
There's some tear.
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer.
So you haven't...
No, I'm sorry. As I said,
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone. You see, a once bright above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also... There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack.
Why single out this one building? The once bright mural towers above you, saying, felt suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reed. The once bright mural towers up suddenly. The once bright mural towers above you, say suddenly, all the once bright mural suddenly all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reed.
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be... She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. And then there's a church. If I were a murder suspect, I would not... Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
Trying to talk to the wind is trying to talk to the city, something you've done before. The once bright mural towered suddenly. Trying to talk to them.
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the... She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor area. And then there's a... Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to...
Walk the coast, the old... The once bright mural towers above. The once bright mural, a breeze, like a quiet. The once bright mural towers above a breeze, like a... The once bright mural towers above you, a breeze. The once bright mural towers above a breeze, like a... The once bright mural towers a breeze. The once bright mural tap a breeze. The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, art a breeze, like a quiet. The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. There's no echo and no answer. Maybe it's just a storm drain for this.
No idea. Could be. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martin. In conclusion, she could be under any build. I hope not.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above. Lazily. It has been a cold year. All things waiting for spring, looking up at the sky. The sky is full of great battleships. White clouds collide with one another. You're warm in your hat and your coat. Like a well-equipped explorer, you comfortably survey the white landscape. Near, snow falls into dark water. She prays. That's all. The abandoned church, its walls covered with hoarfrost now. One, a serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves. Some, the remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock. A tent. Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection. Way beyond Martinez. A popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozon kids with equally ample pockets. Then there's Ozon, but the snow falls too thick. You cannot see that far. The Bay of Revachol, vastness, great depth, over 1,200 meters at its and at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of the coalition warship Archer, on perpetual patrol duty, ready to unleash more winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark piles, grey and red forgotten city blocks, what remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast. The waters turn black, coal city in the shadow of Saint-Martin, a boomtown. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet. Below the old mines, L'Océan Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. Le Petit Rat braved the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royan. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums and for fame of the suzerain. In the burial chambers of the kings, Grand old Philip, Guillaume II, and even in the mausoleum of Philip the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that the mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure. How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals to know. Few petits rats return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they... All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces, and on the weather-worn shacks, where farther the canal you crossed to get here, and beyond it. Martinez proper, the district the police forgot to police. There is laughter, lights, attempts at entrepreneurial activity, cynicism. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III serves as a destination for grade school field trips and a fine perch for winter birds. Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout cast a long shadow over the profligate king. A fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bright light from a building. The raised motorway, 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night. While those who was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients. The pox is completely wild now. Evergreen thickets covered in snow and industrial. Heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hastily. A line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the cold. A mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Capri 40. These are the garages of precinct. Around you, the snow continues to fall. The stairs descend to central Jamrock. A man named Cooklove has a snow-covered stall there in the market across the bridge. Snow falls on the utility district, the library, the florist, the Sarah Mauritian restaurant that offers homemade wine, and also on the brothels and drug dens and the chop shops of the Zemniaki. All of this built around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike. At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. There are lights at the bottom of its hull. A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. For storm drainage, someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You will probably never have...
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
Oh, hey, Wei, there's coffee.
The machine's keyboard is... The speaker comes to life. Static seat.
Good afternoon. Votre accident.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please.
Let's look around. Maybe he knows something.
Receive votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in...
Saint-Brune. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine?
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is... Nothing happens. The mother of Hugh.
Oh, hey, Wei, there's coffee in the back. Too many times, essay.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita. You just have to wait until she comes.
Or search through her radio computer.
I think we're done here, essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our...
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre accident. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, votre accident. Is there anything else? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard, the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraph. The first entry made on the 4th that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a see? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esca series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again.
The strike. We are nearing the date. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future. Fortunately, The song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping-ping energy drinks. Water. Tooth. Interrupted by the sound of the string. Make straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds.
We should talk to her.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 60... If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
What? No.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Nope. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIN Prefect's processing unit. RAIN Prefect. My radio computer. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need... I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad... But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Anyway... You should do some research before you decide to buy any.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
They are connected to my RAIN Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? I'm working. Could you just... shh for a minute?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do.
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, she's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows. but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because what do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Strange things may flourish.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this. I know. No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the... And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could... Great. Thanks. What? I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not an... Take a guess, why don't you? Bingo!
Ah, wonderful. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents.
Yeah, what I said before. Not possible. So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be...
Hello again. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim death.
Hi again. So, Yes? What's the deal? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam?
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after. If that's okay with her, we only want to get...
The lines in the...
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? Oh, man! But the drug lab was like an integral part of getting a...
For me, it was my favourite part. Chemistry's great. I mean, anodic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel really good. When did you last feel really, really good? Pull out that stick, lawman. You'd absolutely love drugs. They'll make you feel transcendent.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Good...
Wow, so someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Good, good. Of course. To outright declare yourself something does seem a bit too...
Hello again. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. It's military. The washerwoman mentioned a depot at the coast.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. You rattle the... An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune. You rattle the handle a bit, then push. An old door, worn by elements, guards. You rattle. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then... An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then push. An old door, worn by elements. Guard, you rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your... An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is...
We don't get in there. Frankly.
No. We've gotten into every door.
What else is there to do? No.
Relax, he thinks. There's no one in there. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You rattle the handle a bit, then... An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. You rattle the handle a bit, then...
We don't get in there. Frankly.
No. We've gotten into...
What else is there?
Relax, he thinks. You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
The phone gets hanged up fast. The once bright mural towers above you, saying, The once bright mural, a breeze, like a... The once bright mural towers. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
A rusty ladder leap.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Old pipe peeks out from your eyes, slowly begin to adjust. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. An ordinary drainage pipe. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash, crumpled up newspaper, and nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the...
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely. However, the pipe suggests there may be... And it's right here. A maintenance door.
Oh yeah, big boy time. This needs you to put your back into it. The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal. Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
Teleportation is not a thing. This really has nothing to do with adventure. Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. rooftop. The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup.
This isn't just glass. These are old yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were casting, the how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they... Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while. The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put...
I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of outside the window, desolation, snow.
It's a great place to hide, and Mazovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. But there hasn't been anyone here, indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control.
In fact, I think we're done with this bunker.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. No, but you're...
He trusts your gut feeling. Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming, that's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of...
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead all... I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner...
The explosion of static you're hearing blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
That boy's really gotta learn to keep his trap shut. I mean... A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys.
Sounds like she knew someone who used to man one of those stations. But she won't tell you about her. Boy, you're one empathetic man.
So, what we are experiencing is...
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter. The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few... Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it. If you've got something really important to say, you can...
Turn this...
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but... She looks at the machine as...
Oh, fuck it.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself. Trying to answer the same... No, wait. Finally, it... She flashes you an incredulous grin. Then she exhales sharply, shakes... Suddenly, your entire body is packed.
I know you're feeling... Can't say...
As she says the word, no, buddy. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static.
No, I'm
The explosion blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? A pale latitude compressor signals a...
Sounds like...
So, precisely. At the up...
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
You're big boys. You can...
Turn this...
God damn. Fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It's...
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it.
You should know the words to say. Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. As you know, don't focus.
Really now?
You're overwhelmed with a new surge.
No, I'm using...
The blasted from that pale emitter.
Saw my equation? A pale signal that...
Sounds like...
So precise at the up...
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking.
You're big... God, fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. She looks at the machine as...
Oh, fuck it.
You should...
Yes?
Suddenly, your entire body is...
I know, can't...
As you know, but don't...
Really now? Check the...
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain. The explosion blasted from that pale... Sounds like...
So, priest at the...
She likes telling you about the machine.
You're... God damn, fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. She looks at...
Oh, fuck it.
You should know the words to say. Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to... No, what? She flashes you an incredulous grin. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois. Control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you.
Our job. It went really bad.
She died. How can he be...
Fuck!
Get a hold of yourself. He needs your support now, too.
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need... That tent, there.
Plain red tent. You see, a road...
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get...
The lieutenant knows. Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed.
I know you can't...
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. That's an don't...
Really?
You're overwhelmed with...
No, I'm used to...
The X blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
A signal...
Sounds like...
So precise at the...
She likes telling you about the machine.
You're... God, fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell. She looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not? Because you've been going around pointing... No, wait. She flashes you an incredulous grin. Suddenly, your entire body...
I can't...
No, don't.
Really, Nat?
You're overwhelmed.
I'm used...
The X blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my... A pale light signal that...
Sounds like...
So, precisely. At the upper...
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her...
The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
That's illegal.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before you... Yeah, let's...
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cop.
If you've got something really important to say, you... God damn it. Fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. The violet white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up again.
Officer, are you okay?
The pain.
What are you doing? Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to attend. No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes...
So she says she didn't do it, and she doesn't trust you. Is it you specifically?
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? My boys? What? I don't even understand what you're... Oh, doesn't even matter. How can they be my boys when they're not even my...
A dull despair.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Like what?
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that on me. Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time. Wow, now I'm curious. Please, explain. Don't know it, but also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all heard...
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, so that's where you were going with this. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up.
The lieutenant watches her,
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it. She does know how to pick 'em. She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused. I knew that wasn't the whole story.
No ill will then. It wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about... I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was... What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've got go ahead.
And mine too, he thinks.
Of flowers and candy? Nope. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
That's your prerogative. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jam with.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used based on what I've heard about you. You are serious scum. I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason. Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of...
She didn't hate it, okay?
I'm listening. And? A knocked away 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not real to the gun store. Trigger happy jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry. Yeah, evidence. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, yeah?
More questions before doing anything.
Tribunal is an awfully fancy word for what they're going to do. But yeah, I was listening to their frequency. Now they're going to put on a show before meting out punishment. Even though those assholes gave me up, I'm worried for them. And you, watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps. I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary has come to town just in time for the tribe.
The third?
Oh. As I said,
the pain is becoming unbearable now.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh?
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find to my back. I was, before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been...
Police radio?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. But she sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea. Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the hardy.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried?
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions. Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent. Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Very, very bad. This is the end. Bad. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. Cops. Suddenly, your entire body is...
I know you're canceling...
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like that's... Don't focus on the name. Focus on doing it.
No, I'm...
The it blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
So...
Sounds...
So... Precise at the...
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
Here, big boy. God, fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt you much. The violet-white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor.
There. I told you it's best... 85526. Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to attend. Now they're gonna put... And you. Watch out for yourself. I'm...
A third.
As I said.
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
I heard you in the passages. And I've been... So you found...
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's... I was.
That's her admitting the book.
No.
So she says she...
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No. Oh. Well, I guess... But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus and his boys, man.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is...
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know. How the fuck did the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I?
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Like...
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Yeah, sure.
She didn't hate it, okay?
I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. Like fuck I did. I was in all the time. I went for a leak, 10-15 minutes max. Wow, now I'm curious. Please, explain. Don't know it. The shot couldn't...
She has a...
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, well, that's a very...
The lieutenant.
Okay, fine. I was into her. She rejected... I knew that was...
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah, I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs... Yeah, the girl... Go ahead.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done. That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay.
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had... You're unarmed. Yeah?
More questions before doing anything.
How should...
What is written?
Who has...
She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a corpse.
It's okay.
That even nerves. So I grabbed... No, she asked me...
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Yeah, she...
Glacier knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under...
Yeah. I wasn't sure what... As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gun... War? Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. Glad to have been of a...
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
All things considered, it could have gone worse. No, I don't think she did it. She's someone else's case now. Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. Her tent. Maybe there's something...
Suddenly, your entire body is...
I know you're can't say it's a...
She's no buddy. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
No, I'm using a...
The blasted from that pale emitter.
Saw... A pale light signal...
Sounds like she...
So precise at the upper lip.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
You're big. God, fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solved.
Ma'am, put the gun...
Oh, yes it is.
You should know the word. Suddenly, your entire body is...
I know you can't...
As she says the word, oh, that's an awful... Don't focus on the pain.
No, I'm used...
The X blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
A sick...
Sounds...
So, precisely. At the...
She likes telling you about them.
You're big... God damn it. Fine.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side.
Oh, fuck it.
You should know.